Once feared as cold-blooded prehistoric predators, crocodiles have taken on a completely different role in modern society. Today, they're not only prized for their meat, which is served in upscale restaurants, but also for their luxurious hides, used to craft some of the world's most expensive fashion items. For many women, a crocodile leather handbag is more than just an accessory. It's a bold statement, a symbol of status, and a serious investment. As a result, the crocodile leather industry generates billions of dollars annually in the global market. In today's video, we'll dive into the strange and fascinating world of crocodiles. Specifically, the process of transforming crocodile skin into high-end fashion. From the farm to the tannery, from the value of each hide to the strict standards of processing, we'll uncover it all in detail. Vegetable tanning is believed to have originated around 6000 BC, when early civilizations began developing methods to treat animal hides in order to withstand harsh weather conditions. This natural tanning method uses plant-based extracts such as quebracho, chestnut, or acacia, ingredients known for their antibacterial properties and ability to protect leather from deterioration. As a result, vegetable tanned leather is highly durable, flexible, resistant to decay over time, and carries a distinctive rustic beauty. However, a major turning point came in the 19th century with the invention of chrome tanning. This modern technique uses chromium salts and synthetic compounds to drastically reduce the tanning process, from 3 to 4 weeks down to just about 3 days. The result is a type of leather that is softer, more elastic, and especially water-resistant, making it ideal for large-scale industrial production. Hermès and Louis Vuitton, two giants in the luxury fashion industry, have quietly expanded their operations into Southeast Asia, acquiring around 80% of the crocodile farms in the region. This strategic move isn't just about quality control. It's also about securing a steady supply of crocodile leather for their high-end product lines. The most common species raised in this area is Crocodilus siamensis. While this species can be found in other parts of the world, the unique climate and farming conditions in Southeast Asia significantly enhance the quality of the leather. With a lifespan of up to 50 years and skin that develops a rare natural sheen over time, crocodiles have become a symbol of power in the fashion world. Their hides are used to create masterpieces like the $500,000 Hermès Himalaya Birkin bag or the elegant Louis Vuitton crocodile locket. Even though generations of crocodiles have been bred and raised in controlled environments, their wild predatory instincts remain intact, making large-scale crocodile farming a truly risky and challenging endeavor that is never entirely safe. Despite being known as one of the most dangerous reptiles on the planet, the life of a crocodile begins with something incredibly small and fragile, an egg that looks surprisingly similar to a chicken egg. And it all starts with breeding season. Typically, crocodile breeding season occurs around June. At this time, female crocodiles are moved to semi-wild ponds, or specially designed artificial enclosures that mimic natural habitats, encouraging their nesting and reproductive instincts. Farmers spread a thick, soft, and dry layer of sand along the pond banks, creating the ideal conditions for the mother crocodile to dig a nest and lay her eggs. When she feels safe enough, the female will choose a secluded spot and dig a nest about 12 to 24 inches deep. Depending on the species, age, and care provided, each female can lay between 20 and 80 eggs in one clutch. The eggs are oval-shaped, with hard, opaque white shells. Unlike birds, crocodile eggs are not incubated by the mother's body heat, but rely entirely on the natural warmth of the nest. However, if left to hatch in the wild, only about 50% of the eggs typically survive. That's why farmers collect the eggs and move them to artificial incubators to increase hatch rates. The challenge? During this period, mother crocodiles become extremely sensitive and aggressive. At the slightest sign of a threat, they won't hesitate to attack anyone who comes near the nest. That means egg collectors must work quickly, accurately, and with extreme caution. because even a 1-second delay could make you an unwelcome intruder in the eyes of a very angry crocodile mom. Each crocodile egg must be collected within 24 hours of being laid to prevent it from being eaten by the mother, a common wild defensive behavior in nature. During collection, each egg is carefully marked and kept in the same orientation it was found in the nest, as this positioning directly affects the embryo's development and, notably, the sex of the baby crocodile. The eggs are then carefully arranged in trays lined with sawdust or placed on specialized racks designed to maintain humidity and minimize movement. The spacing between eggs is precisely calculated to avoid contact and ensure consistent airflow throughout the incubation process. Once prepared, the eggs are transferred to a modern automatic incubation system where climate conditions are strictly controlled. Humidity levels are kept between 90 to 95%, and temperature is maintained between 86 to 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Interestingly, this temperature range plays a crucial role in determining the sex of the hatchlings. The ideal temperature of about 88 degrees Fahrenheit tends to produce more male crocodiles, the preferred gender in the leather industry due to their flatter bellies, fewer scars, and more uniform skin tone. A slight temperature change in either direction can completely reverse the gender ratio, highlighting the near-laboratory precision required for this process. At a mid-sized farm, up to 4,000 eggs can be incubated annually. However, to protect natural resources and the surrounding ecosystem, state authorities have imposed limits on the number of permits granted for crocodile hunting and farming. After about 75 to 90 days of incubation under strictly controlled temperature and humidity, baby crocodiles begin to emit strange chirping sounds from inside their shells, a clear sign they're ready to hatch. Once hatched, the hatchlings are sorted by size and development level to determine the most suitable care regimen. Their diet consists primarily of finely chopped chicken meat and fish organs. This menu not only provides the nutrients needed for rapid growth, but also plays a vital role in keeping their skin smooth, light-colored, and free of blemishes. Don't let their small, somewhat adorable appearance fool you. Even at just a few months old, a baby crocodile's bite is strong enough to take off a finger. And of course, that's only the beginning. Unlike many other livestock animals, crocodiles don't eat every day. Their food intake is limited to no more than 10% of their body weight per week. Juvenile crocodiles are typically fed 3 to 4 meals per week to speed up their growth. Once they reach maturity, the feeding schedule drops to just 2 meals per week to control their size and maintain leather quality. It takes about 2 years to raise a crocodile to harvestable size. At that point, a male can grow up to 13 feet long and weigh nearly a ton. A high-quality crocodile hide can sell for over $1,000, which may sound impressive, but it's only a fraction of the final product's value. For example, at the Hermes store in Shanghai, a handbag made from such leather can cost up to $40,000. A limited edition pink fuchsia Hermes Birkin bag with diamond accents recently sold for a jaw-dropping $220,000. Creating such a luxury item requires at least 2 flawless crocodile hides. Here's the catch. A single scratch or scuff on the skin can drop its value to just $200. That's why farm-raised crocodiles live in large ponds where they can swim, rest, and stay calm. They're meticulously cared for. Farmers must keep them relaxed and prevent any fighting, as even one small injury could mean thousands of dollars lost. Interestingly, some believe that commercial crocodile farming has actually contributed to the conservation of this ancient species by reducing illegal hunting in the wild. In a way, high fashion, with all its controversies and extravagance, may ironically be the very reason crocodiles, a species that predates even the dinosaurs and has survived for over 200 million years, are still around today. When a crocodile reaches harvest age and size, farmers use low-voltage electric prods to temporarily stun the animal, a method designed to weaken its resistance without damaging the valuable hide. The goal is not only to preserve the high-quality skin, but also to minimize the risk to humans. After all, no one wants to face a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth when the crocodile is still operating at full strength. Once subdued, workers quickly secure the crocodile's mouth and tie its legs using specialized restraints to ensure maximum safety during transport. The animals are then loaded onto trucks and transported to the processing facility. Upon arrival at the processing plant, workers use extremely sharp specialized knives to sever the carotid artery or the artery at the back of the neck, quickly stopping the crocodile's breathing and allowing it to bleed out efficiently. Once the bleeding and rinsing process is complete, the carcass is moved to the skinning area. Starting from the hind legs and working upward along the back, most modern crocodile farms now use the belly cut method. This technique helps preserve the soft, wide, and evenly colored belly skin, the most prized area in the luxury fashion industry. Using ultra-sharp surgical knives, workers make a precise incision along the belly and carefully separate the skin from the underlying muscle tissue, taking great care not to cause any scratches or tears. This belly hide is the most commercially valuable part of the animal. The crocodile meat is then carefully trimmed and separated for food production. Skilled workers meticulously divide the major muscle groups, including the tail, back, flanks, and neck, into individual cuts. Among these, the tail is especially prized, accounting for nearly 50% of the total marketable meat. It's considered the finest cut, known for its lean, white, protein-rich texture, and is often used in local delicacies or served at upscale restaurants. After harvesting, the crocodile hides undergo an initial cleaning process and are sorted by size, a crucial step in preparing them for the tanning process. However, because the crocodile's natural protective barrier is lost after slaughter, the hides become highly susceptible to bacteria, mold, and other forms of biological degradation. To prevent this, producers apply a short-term salting method. Approximately 60% of the hide's surface is covered with a thick layer of salt, and the hides are then stacked and rolled into specialized bundles to avoid creating folds in the scales. This salting process helps draw out moisture, slows down decomposition, and inhibits microbial growth. When done properly and stored in a cool environment, salted crocodile hides can retain their quality for up to 5 days without significant damage. Next, the crocodile hides are placed into large industrial drum tumblers, marking the first stage of deep processing in preparation for tanning. Inside these rotating drums, the hides are soaked in a specialized chemical solution designed to perform several tasks at once: softening the leather, removing dirt, blood, and any residual salt from the preservation stage, as well as breaking down the outer epidermis and separating the fat layer beneath the skin's surface. This step not only thoroughly cleans the hides, but also plays a critical role in establishing the foundation for the crocodile leather's flexibility and water resistance. To allow crocodile leather to be dyed in a wide range of colors, especially light and evenly toned shades, the first step is to completely remove its natural pigmentation. The hides are soaked in a special bleaching solution designed to lighten the base color, even out the tone across the scales, and eliminate any traces of blood, iron, or pigments left behind from slaughter or previous processing. However, this step requires a high level of precision. If not handled carefully, the leather surface can become corroded or blistered, significantly reducing its quality and value. Typically, the hides are left to soak overnight to ensure that all impurities are thoroughly removed without damaging the leather's structure. By the end of this process, the hides take on an almost completely bright white appearance. After being fully bleached and cleaned, the crocodile hides are left to dry completely before entering the thinning stage. Workers carefully calibrate the machines to ensure the leather has a uniform thickness across the entire surface, making it softer and easier to shape. Depending on the specific requirements of each luxury fashion brand, crocodile leather can either be dyed in a solid color or treated with special effects such as ombre gradients, metallic finishes, marble-like patterns, or a vintage-style patina. This dyeing process typically takes place in large rotating drums, allowing the dye to penetrate deeply and evenly throughout the layers of leather. Each dyeing cycle lasts about 2 hours in the drum, followed by an additional hour to fix the color, ensuring a rich, stable finish that stands the test of time. A polishing machine is used to give the leather surface a smooth, glossy finish. Then, a heat pressing machine applies pressure and heat to flatten any creases and enhance the shine. After that, a special glossy coating is sprayed onto the leather, not only to give it a high gloss appearance but also to protect the surface. Finally, each hide undergoes a final inspection, is carefully sorted, and meticulously packaged before being shipped off to prestigious fashion houses like Hermès, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, or Prada, where it will be transformed into iconic fashion masterpieces worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. To create a luxury crocodile leather handbag, every step is done entirely by hand, with near absolute precision. First, carefully selected hides are cut into shape using custom templates. The leather edges are then smoothed to create clean, refined outlines. Next, the artisan cuts out the center of a stiff paper layer to allow the bag's flap to fold more easily. A bone folder is used to fold the leather edges snugly around the paper layer, followed by gentle tapping with a rubber mallet to secure them in place. The body of the bag is assembled using ultra-fine needles and micro-thin thread, with each stitch expertly hidden to avoid any visible seams. The inner lining at the base of the bag is meticulously glued in place. The leather is then folded over and pressed tight using specialized tools. Connection points are thinned and smoothed to the point where they're almost invisible to the naked eye. The flap is glued instead of sewn, giving the front and back surfaces a sleek, uninterrupted look, resulting in a clean, high-end finish. At this stage, the front and back panels are attached to the structural frame, with every joint perfectly aligned. This step requires exceptional craftsmanship. Even the slightest misalignment can make the bag appear loose, misshapen, and cheap, possibly even mistaken for a counterfeit. The entire process of completing a crocodile leather handbag takes around 7 hours. The result is a pinnacle of fashion craftsmanship, an accessory designed to be not only stunning, but also durable enough to stand the test of time. This is an industry that embodies both luxurious beauty and deep controversy. Is it a genuine effort to preserve a species once on the brink of extinction? Or simply the price we pay for a symbol of luxury? The answer, perhaps, still quietly rests within each gleaming handbag behind the store's glass display.